Capturing history through art this afternoon, more than a dozen veterans will get to see portraits of themselves taken by a nationally recognized photographer as part of the American Heroes Portraits of Service project. Joining us this morning to talk about that is photographer and author Thomas Sanders and also Donna Hermann, Executive Director of Belmont Village Senior Living. Thank you so much to both of you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
This is really a wonderful thing, Thomas, that you have been doing for years now. So tell us a little bit more about the project.
Yeah, I had this homework assignment in college to photograph a portrait of somebody, and it turned out to be this World War II hero. And he told me this really dramatic story about how he almost died in battle, and it really helped put my life into perspective. And so I decided that I wanted to travel the country and photograph as many World War II veterans as I possibly could. And I was teamed up with Belmont Village in about 2007, and I went to all their communities and photographed all the veterans living in their communities. And I've done several tours around the country with Belmont Village, and this is actually my second time back to Austin photographing veterans here in Westlake Hills.
Incredible work. The photographs are just beautiful. Donna, tell us what's going to be happening today with the veterans at your center.
So later on this afternoon we'll be having a ceremony. So we have a color guard from the local high school. The Westlake Hills mayor, Anthony, will be joining us as well. And it's a ceremony. So we'll be unveiling each of the portraits and then recognizing each of the veterans individually. And then we'll have the gallery reveal a little bit later on. So
yeah, very
nice.
Special. Thomas, talk more about the reaction from these veterans when they get to see their portrait.
Yeah, you know, some of these veterans have never had the opportunity to tell their story and be honored. A lot of times the veterans want to think of themselves as being younger, even though they're 90 years old. What's really interesting is some of the families of the veterans have never heard their stories before, and that's kind of the really rewarding part of this project.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're just surprised when they get to see that photo, and then also proud as well, and then get to share it. You also have a beautiful book that you put out years ago that's full of these photographs. Talk a little bit more about what this experience has been like for you.
Yeah, the whole idea behind this project is to photograph and honor our veterans. I hopefully, will take a creative, artistic portrait that enthralls the viewer. They'll come in to take a closer look at the portrait, and then there's a story next to each veteran's portrait, and then the viewer will read it and change their perspective and create this greater appreciation.
Yeah, and Donna, I'm sure you get to see firsthand how appreciative some of these veterans are when they see their portraits.
And the family members, it's a heartwarming ceremony this afternoon. There'll be tears and a lot of hugging. And then what's really terrific is it fosters friendships among our residents and our veteran residents. And so just to share their stories, reminisce, truly it's heartwarming. Very cool.
Yeah, well, we thank both of you for the work that you're doing, Thomas. The photographs are beautiful. I'm sure it will be a very special ceremony later today, and we encourage people to check out those portraits. Thank you to both of you for coming in this morning. Anywhere people can go to find out more information?
Belmont Village, Westlake Hills. So phone number is 512-347-1700. So
great. Thank you for coming in this morning.
Thank you for having us.
And coming up, we're going to talk about making 2019 your best work year ever. Don't go away.